Hey guys, welcome back for another complex convo with your girl, Sonia B. That's me. Still Mental Health Month. Have another topic that I wanted to bring up today. And this topic is what it means to teach people how to treat you. As a mom, I tell my young adult sons, you have to teach people how to treat you. But oftentimes I find that these lessons that I'm trying to impart in them, I'm still trying to learn myself. So, still learning, still growing. That means still evolving, right? So yeah, how to teach people how to treat you. So, in a nutshell, you teach people how to treat you by what you allow, what you stop, and what you reinforce. So these are behaviors that you allow, behaviors that you stop, and behaviors that you reinforce. And this is across the board with anybody, teaching people how to treat you. A lot of times, we say, I'm sick of people treating me like, just a carpet on the floor. I'm tired of people always taking from me, never giving. But these are all behaviors that we allow. So how do we teach people how to treat us? There are a lot of tips and tricks that are out there in the world, but I can only speak from my personal experience. Number one, you start with yourself. To teach people how to treat you, it starts with what you believe about yourself. What do you believe that you deserve? How do you treat yourself? Okay? So a small amount of change within yourself will, be just enough to show people this is how I want or I deserve to be treated. Or, there are certain rules of engagement with other people. When you're embarking on relationships or friendships, you'll have to be on the same page with the other person. And in order to be on the same page, they have to have some access to your instructional guide or manual, if you will. I've personally tried something new in the recent months. I've given an individual a copy of my book. I want you to know what it is that I've been through, the toll that it took on me, and what I learned about myself and the outcomes that I expect. I gave someone the instructional manual on myself. Now, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make the horse drink. So, did the real individual read the book? I don't know. The only way that I can test that is by how the individual treats me. I've given you the instructional guide. But, it requires you to be very vulnerable. So if you don't have a book about yourself to give someone to teach them how to treat you, then you need to be able to communicate that. You need to be vulnerable, you need to be open, and you need to communicate. These are the things that I need. And that was the next thing I was going to say. You need to communicate clearly your needs, and you need to be compassionate about it. You don't need to be rude. If you don't do right by me, I won't do right by you. You don't have to do that. If you truly and genuinely want to have a relationship with someone that is based on a solid foundation, you need to be able to communicate clearly, what those needs are. Couples, and I've been guilty of this, you either yell at the other person or me, I give the silent treatment to communicate my needs. But usually the silent treatment for me is a result of me communicating to you what I need, what I like, what I dislike, but then the other person not receiving that message clearly the first time. And to be honest, if I get mad after the first time of the person not meeting that need after I feel like I've communicated it clearly, I get upset and then I just shut down. That's not the best thing to do. So, but to me, that's, something that I've grown accustomed to. So rather than yelling and screaming, or making the statement, you don't listen to me, and I do that, you're not hearing me. Women, we love to be heard. We love to be understood. Some of us anyway. But, it would be nice to have your undivided attention, where you're actually listening to the words that I'm saying and you're digesting what it is that I say that I need, so that you know how to treat me. You know, if I'm feeling overwhelmed in a situation, hey, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now, and I would love it if you would just give me some space. But I would think on the opposite end of that, the person would hear, okay, she's overwhelmed. She just needs some space right now, not to take it personal. This is just something that she needs. And then we can come back together and communicate. But sometimes people don't receive that well. Or if they're not listening, they don't receive it at all. So teaching people how to treat you, you don't want to pout, or become abusive, yelling and screaming and cursing them out. That's the behavior that you're going to receive in return. So, you need to model how you want to be treated. For example, if, be the person that you want that person to be to you. Treat people the way you want to be treated. So if you don't feel like you're heard, if you don't feel like, someone has listened to something that you shared about you, emulate that to that person. Tell them, hey, based on what we've talked about, this is what I think I've learned about you. Give them an opportunity to tell you, yes, you're on point, or you're off mark a little bit. And then to reinforce, the behaviors that you like. And reinforcement just simply means that you're showing appreciation when the other person makes an effort to change their behavior. And that's the key to all of this. When two people come together, you don't naturally come together knowing what the other person likes, dislikes. There are going to be triggers. There are going to be things that are said a certain way that cause the other person to react a certain way. And when you communicate clearly that, hey, I feel like this when you don't listen to me, or I feel like this when you say these certain things to me, let them know you appreciate it when you notice that behavior changed, when they stop doing and saying those things, or when you stop doing and saying those things that may hurt the other person's feelings. Just reinforcing those behaviors. If you're fortunate enough to have a role model in your life, parents that over the years they've been married, they've learned this, talk to them, ask them, how do you get over this hump? How did you teach my father how to treat you? How did you teach my mother how to treat you? These are all things that are learned. And I don't believe you can't teach an old dog new tricks. It starts with being open and available. And this is something as adults, if you stop learning, then you stop growing. So I think as adults, those of us that are single, trying to get to know people, trying to let people into our lives, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, we have to master this at some level. How to teach other people how to treat you. Okay? That's my 2 cents for today. I hope somebody has learned something from it. Or maybe you have something to add. If you do so in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts on how you are teaching other people how to treat you. I'm still working on it. I'm a work in progress, but I'm open to feedback. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so by clicking subscribe below. Those of you who have already subscribed, I appreciate each and every one of you. I love that you are watching my videos. Hope that they're helping someone. So in this month, as we observe mental health, let's treat each other a little bit better. And if someone's not treating you right, teach them how to treat you. It's the least you could do. Till next time.